up to the outside. Are we going to see a photo finish? Daytona 24, we go racing! It's Ahmed with a fantastic start. Santos is left to dry. Eamon, Rahul side by side. They head into turn one. Ladies and gentlemen, hold your breath as they head into it. 3 wide in the back. Rahul tags. Oh my God, Mike Van Doorn, the championship leader. Eamon's off. As they head on through, it's a lot of cars going around wide. Can they get it going? That's the most important part. But at the front, it's Ahmed, Santos, Peter Sabot, Christian Rahul. But they bad luck as we go down the order. It's Eamon Asseir, who's outside the top 10 in a championship he is leading. What a start! What a start! Santos to the outside. Daniel Santos at the end of lap 1. Could he take the lead of the United States Grand Prix? Round the outside. Ahmed will hold on. Little bit of lag between the two. Rahul goes deep. Peter Sabot may have an opportunity as they slide through. In fact, Peter does. Peter's the third.
Gentlemen, a short view back.
Lights on your screen! We're at South Africa! We go racing! It's Peter Sabot getting a good start, but look at that, almost 4 wide in the background. It may get spicy as they head into turn 1. Keep an eye out on them. That's the Peter Dream start. It's Santos on the inside. Maximilian trying to make it go through. He's made contact with the championship leader. One car slipped over. Two Rose in the gravel. A nasty flip from him as they go up into the left-hander. Going on to the first major straight here as they all go through. Santos P2, Maximilian P3, Eamon kind of been shuffled down the order as they head into the flying right-hander. Christian Rahul side by side with Ahmed. Eamon in the background trying to go through. Layla also going through as well. You also see Tiago trying to go side by side with Danielle. Very close. Looks like Daniel Matos getting it a bit wrong. Matthew just getting jumbled up in the back there. Heading up to the front. It's Santos going to put ultimate pressure on Peter Samo. His teammate, Peter Samo, goes outside. Santos on the inside. Is it a move for the race lead? Contact is made, and Santos gets the race lead. Maximilian's third place, looking for P2 at the moment. Peter Samo trying to defend now as they head into the right-hander. It's a very tricky left-hander. Oh, and look at that. Maximilian takes advantage. He goes deep. Peter Samo will try to jump back through. He does. Watch Ahmed in the background. Maybe he has a chance of trying to go through into the right-hander. On board with Eamon. Eamon sent it down the inside. A nasty dive. Peter Samo trying to defend as much as he can. He runs wide. Interesting to note, Maximilian P2. He got that move done on Peter. And on to turn 1. Left-hander. Christian Ramau, side by side, trying to get on the inside of Ahmed, and can't get it done that time. And look at Eamon. Eamon trying to fight through. Down the inside. Maybe is there a chance? There is a chance. Peter goes deep. Eamon will take the podium. Peter runs a little bit into the grass. And so, championship leader on the podium. Santos in the lead, side by side. Ahmed holding on against Christian Ramau in the Corvette. He's doing well to hold on. He's got Mike Van Doorn in this train here. Tells me maybe he just forgot to fuel up the car on the grid. And Ahmed down the inside. Contact is made. A very aggressive dive bomb down the inside. And he's let go of the place. He's dropped down another position to Ramau. Now Christian has a possible opportunity to put this one down on the inside of Peter. And Sabo just walking backwards now in this race. Oh, look at Ahmed. Maybe there's a chance. Three-way fight. Peter's gone a little deep. Ramau could have an opportunity. Maybe the dirty air just affecting him here. Let's go on board with Ahmed as it goes into the left-hander. Into the right, kind of losing a bit of time. And Ramau wanting to get past this Audi, getting up to P4. Great opportunity on this corner here. Peter runs a little deep. It's going to give an opportunity for Ramau to go down the outside. It'll be the inside for this kink. It's the outside for the next corner. It's going to be a drag race. This Ramau back off. He doesn't look like he is the Brazilian flying through here. He's going to send it just like Maximilian did on Peter. But it doesn't look like it. Ahmed trying to get the over-under, going to run into the rear of Christian. And Van Doorn trying to wait for these scraps. Look at all these three yellow cars chasing down fast. And back up here, I did see one driver off the circuit for a moment. Right behind them, Evan Steinberg, a little too far for a potential chance at this battle here. Farinel's going to dive it down the inside. Lexus against Audi. Conti's going to have the long way to work with and the inside line for this right-hander. Can Farinello hold on? He does so. One corner just to cement this move. He's able to hold on, and he does so. P9. That's a great one there from Christian Farinello against the Argentine of Iris Conti. And look at the gap there, 4.5, just going down that much more. Eamon, does he put a move down on the inside? A little bit of contact on the rear. Eamon's going to try to pull the switchback of dreams. Eamon might actually have it this time. He covers it. Spirit Racing's Eamon Espear gets P2. Now does Fleer get the early comeback here? It's the inside move in it. He does. The German goes down the inside. Respectful racing of the two. Little Archie Bargy, he actually may have pushed Eamon outside the track, and Fleer's back through. Wonderful racing between them. Eamon's back down to third. And another thing to note, Santos able to clear some traffic, and he's now even quicker on this time. The more that these two battle, he's up 5.7 for the moment I just saw. But real racing between each other, bumping each other off the circuit almost. Watching it closely, but this is really hard racing between the two. And now, 3/10 the difference. Could be a massive opportunity here. Eamon's feeling it. I'm feeling it. Crowd is feeling it. Is there a chance on the inside? Eamon's gonna dive it down. Max is gonna push him with all his might. Eamon, does he pull it off? Side by side, gives him a taste of his own medicine as they make contact between each other. Max can't hold on. He'll dive it down the inside. Eamon's gone too deep. Eamon's gonna go back to third. And Max is gonna still hold on. It's a hold on to P2. A wonderful battle, and once again, positions reset as Nasseir now has to continue to fight off. As that happens, Sabo 1.1 now in this fight. 2 minutes left to go, and these two are having a stellar battle. Up the road, though, it's Daniel Santos who still leads this one. It's now 5.2. It's coming up to more lap traffic. He's got a lot of a buffer, and he's got under 2 minutes and 1 extra lap to get to victory lane. It's all or nothing. Eamon going a little bit deep here. Peter Sabo, welcome to the battle. It's your battle for P2 here as we come down to the final 90 seconds of the timer. As we head on to this man here, the Portuguese of Daniel Santos is going to round out the final quarter. He's going to go back-to-back race wins, but it's his first one that he's going to do on track. Santos wins at Kyalami, and Fleer is going to hold on to P2 against Eamon, who will finish third. Peter Sabo will finish fourth. Ahmed will come around to finish P5. Christian Ramau will come home in P6. But what a race. What a fight. It was to the end between all these drivers. And as we come around, final lap here, final corner overtake, Daniel Matos against Rosa coming to the line here. And it doesn't look like it's going to be a photo finish because Rosa will be able to get the move done. Try to get it. It's not going to matter there. What a race, though. That's your top drivers, though. It's Eamon, Daniel, Max, your top three. But it's an all BMW podium here. It's Santos, who we can finally say got it done. What a race.
Gentlemen, a short view back to the past.
Do we see it? 3Y80 active loaded. Oh, and there's a 4-car crash now. Oh, and there's smoke up the road. It's Webster. Oh, it's the championship leader. It's him. And here we see Jaden Harrison switches from the outside, passes Marlon Young, trying to go again for another car. Peter Sabo, one more chance. Mike Van Dorn to the outside. Are we going to see a photo finish?
Just step inside.
gentlemen, a short view back to the past.
Do we see it? 3-1. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Caribbean Motor Racing Sim Club. Welcome back to round 6 of the GT World Challenge powered by ACF. We're getting ready for the Japanese Grand Prix. It's 3 races left to go before we crown a champion in GT3. The very first championship here in 2026. And we're getting ready to go racing at the famous Fuji Speedway. As Mount Fuji overlooks the most beautiful circuit here on the calendar. We get ready to go. Mic check, mic check. The drivers just finished qualifying and as they're ready to get onto the grid as they set into the pits now. Let's take you through what qualifying went through in just a moment's time. But what an amazing showcase we have for you today. If you're just tuning in for your first time here on today's stream, I'm your host Rahul Nasseir from Caribbean Motor Racing Sim Club. Welcome out to one of the most exciting championships in 2026 in CMRSC. GT3s just don't fail. Everyone loves GT3s. It's like Sebastian Vettel said, everyone's a Ferrari fan. Everyone loves GT3s. When you're in, it's a sim racing. Why don't we take a look at the point standings just to take you through what we're looking at here today. The main talking point, the top 2 drivers, P1 and P2. Oyama and Nasseir, Daniel Santos, well, they're looking for the title. And they got 3 races left to go. Fuji has a lot of history between them. You look back at Porsche Cup, where Oyama and Nasseir looking for the title. It was Daniel Santos who made contact with them. Lap 1, turn 1, took him out of any contention. No love lost between them. They both made up, and they're both close friends at this point. But when it's championships on the line, that respect, while it's still there, racing hard, it's going to be a different story. You look at the team standings. You look at NanoShift dominating from Spirit Racing, and then Track Limits also in P3. Back to the driver standings. Christian Romao, Peter Sabot, Maximilian Fleer, Mike Van Doren, Lacey Fancher, Ahmed. Rounding out those standings there in the team standings. We continue off with ProMix Flame. We have Spirit Racing Privateers. We have the Show Me Your Heart squad. And the Power Pixel Racing team just to round it out over there. As we continue to wait for these drivers to get on to the grid. You've already seen the trailers. You've already seen the highlights of what this race is going to look like. That's what it looked like the last time. Let's take a look at some of these cars that'll be taking us on here at Fuji. A couple of special ones here. Some cars we have not seen from the past 2 rounds. Just didn't have time, but now we have a lot more time to take a look. Here's one of them, brand new Mark Crawford for the X-Play team in the Audi. The all Guyanese colors here. An absolute beaut. Continuing down the order, Layla has made the jump from Ford to BMW. It's iconic colors here. And look at that thing. Beautiful car around here. Simply lovely. Massimo also in the pits. And mic check, mic check. Beautiful car here. Lacey Fancher, Christian Romao, Daniel Santos. Fresh new livery as well from South Africa. It was the livery that put him P1 on track. He's going for the hat trick. He's going for 3 races in a row. Can he do it? It's going to be tough around here. Fuji's not the easiest. Peter Sabot next. We have Oleg, Sensin, Maximilian, Fleer, Eamon Asbeer, Riga Milana, which if you grew up with Need for Speed, you're going to recognize these colors here on this car. Simply lovely. Awesome looking livery around here. These cars are going to get onto the grid soon. So we're going to switch gears over to the other side and wait for these drivers to get on. So they get onto the grid. Qualifying, we have the results. They are in. Let's take you through what it looks like. So, it's Daniel Santos taking pole position, followed by Peter Sabo and Christian Ramau. Ahmed will take over P4, followed by Eamon Espeir. Then it's Maximilian Fleer, Thiago Ravaz, Lacey Fancher, Regan Milana, Gabriel Costa. We have a newcomer here, I think that's Danny there. Danny. Apologies if you can correct me in chat. If anybody does know that individual, let me know. Newcomer here, though, in the Porsche. Ilham Lesmana, Christian Farinello, Hayden Ignis, Layla, Evan, Casper, Daniel Matos, Nixon, Mark, Danielle, Massimo, Leonardo. We have Rosa, Nasseir, Webster, Mora, and Oleg, Jarrell, and Gonzalez rounding it out there. So drivers locked and loaded onto the grid. We have 1 minute and 20 left to go before we get going. So let's take you through some of the cars here as we just have enough time. Continuing over, let's see if we can find some more. Thiago, great qualifying session from him. He's got some fresh new paint over here, the Rexy inspired, but more of a Japanese kind of twist on it. There's Regan Milana's livery up there. Farinello, Ignis, we have Layla, Evan, Casper, Daniel Matos. Here's Nixon, new looking livery as well. It's kind of the opposite colors of Regan's. Of course, teammate, show me your heart. Has the purple headlights in there. There you see Mark Crawford's, Danielle, Massimo, Leonardo. We have Rosa, Nasseir back in the Coca-Cola car. Webster, switching machines now. He's in the Corvette. Mora, Sansin, Moore, and Gonzalez to round out your grid. We have a large grid out here today. 30 cars to be exact. Make your predictions in chat. Who do you think's taking race win today? Championship implications are on the line. Let's get this one started. As 4 lights are on the board, we go racing at Fuji. Santos with a great run. He covers off Sabo. Ramau's going to be on the outside. Ahmed is going to be following through. The top 4 get away well. It's going to be 3 wides and into 1. Sabo goes very deep. He's going to go wide. A car crashed there. 3 cars off. They're going to stay green. No restart required from them. They're all just jostling through. It's not as big as the incident that we had back at Kailami as they all file through into the left-hander side by side. A couple of cars go through. 3 wide. That's not going to work. Oh, it may have. As they all go through. Couple of cars spinning out through and throughout. One thing's for sure, it's not as big of a crash that we saw back at South Africa. But we're green and we are racing here at Fuji. It's Santos in the lead. Ahmed able to take over P2 from Sabo, who just went way too deep out of turn 1. Christian Ramau 4th. Fancher finds herself in P5. That's, trouble there in the background. Lesmana, Costa, I think that was Hayden as well, also collected. Costa makes contact as he rejoins onto the circuit. They get back going. It's a lot of trouble here at the early stages. It's not a championship in these regular rounds that invite the virtual safety car, so the drivers are just going to continue and racing out. It's 45 minutes of racing here as Santos now gets back onto the front straight and finishes off lap 1 of the Japanese Grand Prix. In the background, Christian Ramau gets alongside. He's on the inside of Peter Sabo. The Honda working very well. The front straight is going to be your best friend when it comes to these large overtakes, the dive bombs down the inside as Christian goes through. He runs a little deep. Peter Sabo is going to switch back through, and he's going to take that position. Maximilian also putting some work on Fancher. They're pretty close next to each other, side by side. Peter is back up to 3rd, but the battle for 5th is on. Fancher trying to hold on. She goes deep, and also Ramau up the road. He also runs off the circuit. Is he going to drop down positions? He will. He'll drop down 2 spots. He's still in the grass, in fact. He can't get off. Regan Milana's going to take that spot. Fighting for the podium, and one mistake sends him down to 7th. That's not the way he wants to start off this Japanese Grand Prix. Looking down the rest of the order. There's your top 10. They have Webster, Danny Nasseir fighting between each other. But lots of argy-bargy throughout the start of this one. As drivers just getting over-ambitious at the first opening laps, but drivers got to know you don't win the race on your first lap. Here, Jarrell Moore takes it to the pits. His race already done and dusted, and that's bad luck for the X-Play driver. His race is already over. And Regan Milana, as we get back up to the front straight, we go on board with him. He's about 5/10 behind Lacey Fancher. The time is slowly ticking down. Meanwhile, Ahmed putting in some work. Remember, he won on track at Daytona, but a penalty put him down the order. From a contact that happened early on with himself and Mike Van Dorn, he's shaking off the cobwebs, and he is trying to perform better off here, and he's looking for a race win. As he chases down Daniel Santos. It's your battle for the race lead, so it's going to get very close between them, and we'll visit them very shortly between each other. Here comes Gabriel Costa, the Brazilian, as he chases down Daniel Matos, as Matos gets onto the grass on the inside, gets wiped out along the outside off the circuit. In fact, it's a very punishing circuit. Fuji Speedway is. He gets back on and luckily does not make any contact. That's the most important part, as he now just shuffles ahead of the Lexus of Henderson Mora. Here is Christian Ramau trying to make quick work of Regan Milana down the inside through the right-hander. Oh, contact made between them as he bumped him off the circuit. He's got the move done, but I didn't get the best of angles to see what really happened there, but I don't know how Regan's going to feel about that overtake. That contact had to be made before Ramau was able to get through. Regardless, though, as it stands, he's in 6th. And down the rest of the order here, we have Nixon as in the BMW chasing down the Porsche P25. About 4/10 the difference between the two as they head into the left-hander up the hill. And Danell chasing down Farinello for P24. Santos able to open up that gap about over a second. Meanwhile, our championship leader, we haven't talked about him much. He's sitting down in P13. I'm not too sure what happened to him. But now up to P12, he's in the points. Something's gone wrong for Eamon Espeir in the early goings of this Japanese GP. There's a long way to go. One thing's for sure. The last thing he wants is to be in this position. Daniel Santos, then, who's tied in the championship, P1. Long race, though. Over 30 minutes of driving, so I believe he'll be able to catch back up very soon. But he's got the likes of Costa and Rosa ahead, battling each other side by side. Into the right-hander. Let's switch up to that battle. Will Eamon be able to pull off a move between these two? Costa will go down the inside. Rosa will go very deep, losing the rear end. Eamon's going to say, thank you very much. I'll take over P11, and he's going to be looking for P10 right about now as they head back up the hill onto the front straight. Santos with the fastest lap of the race, 1:37.892. P11 now for Eamon, looking for P10. Is there a chance for a dive bomb? It's one of those circuits that very much invites you to dive it down the inside, the way these long straights are. Eamon's a little bit far behind, and he's going to wisely stay behind, and he'll work his way to get closer and force Costa to make a mistake. Eamon, he's P1 in the championship for a reason, ladies and gentlemen, and he's going to make sure he puts all that intimidation to all the drivers he chases down as he gets up to the front of the pack. But as he continues to close off this gap here through the right-hander, sweeping up. The BMW set up perfectly to just chase down, even through the dirty air, nose to tail this time by, as they exit out into the left-hander. Now, kick to the right, and then it's going to be a very harsh braking zone between the two. And it's on now how you perform through it, and he's going to take it down the inside. Able to just squeeze his way right through. Costa did not see that coming. One of the best of the late breakers. Eamon will get up to P10. Meanwhile, Peter Simon defends off of Maximilian Fleer. Max, who was able to finish on the second position back at South Africa, unfortunately took a time penalty for the consequences that he took. The action, the contact with himself and Eamon knocked him down off the podium, basically. He's trying to work his way back up. He's now side by side for third. Peter's on the racing line, but Max, can he sweep it through on corner exit? Peter's still holding on. The inside line is firmly in his favor. The German will have to find a way to switch it back through here. He gets on the racing line, turns in as much as he can. Peter's gonna hold on, but the door is open on the inside. Max is gonna take the opportunity. It's still side by side between them. Peter, can he hold on? The Hungarian will get to the left-hander. Oh, it's contact between the two, and Max has been sent into the wall on the outside, and it's damage. It's heavy damage for Maximilian Fleer. And is he out of this race? He looks like he's coming to a halt, maybe. He's got back going, but it's suspension damage for him. Peter Simon lives another day, but the stewards are going to be looking very close at that after the race, and they're going to figure out, was that as clean as they wanted to? Meanwhile, Christian Ramau, Lacey Fancher. Lacey's the fourth, but Christian's down the inside to the left-hander. Lacey fighting with all her might, a little bit off the track. Will have the inside line, crucially, as they get back onto the straight through Castrol Corner now. Ramau trying to fight through, but it's just not enough as Lacey just defends off on the front straight. Only one move allowed. Ramau's going to take this down the inside. The Honda is going to chug its way up the straight, looking for the move. Is it enough to get P4? The positions that he lost out early on in this one. Down the inside. Is it good enough? Switch back Lacey. Not enough, though. So Ramau able to hold on to fourth, unless Lacey's going to put it down the inside. It's very risky into this left-hander. I don't think that's going to happen. Oh, whoa! Something went wrong there. I think she did make contact with Ramau. They both go off the circuit. Lacey may have just misjudged that braking zone of Ramau, and both of them just completely out of shape. As Lacey just trying to fight the car, back and going. Meanwhile, I did see some more trouble there as Max gets it into the pits, but it's a lot of damage on that car. Meanwhile, Costa's off the circuit. Oh, whoa, that is scary there. Tutaro watching a car just fly right through the apex there, avoiding it. He's up to P9. That's a very scary moment, but lots of incidents going down at the front. And a lot of close racing, but it's leading into contact, which is going to get the stewards involved at the end of this race. It's the last thing that you want, is to have such a great battle, but contact, unfortunate contact, bumping somebody out the way, that's going to ruin your race, essentially, and all the hard work that you do. As we look at the tail end of this race here, we have a 4-car battle. From P24 all the way to P21, Danny Nasseir, he's holding off a large pack of cars, hungry and eager to take over his position. As I get into the left-hander, Danny Nasseir is just going to be a sitting duck once they get to the straight, but there you see Nixon trying to catch up to Mark Crawford in the Audi, and Crawford's going to do a dive down the inside. It's no contact, but Crawford's going to get an amazing move A dive that Danny just did not expect at all. And perfectly going to get that going. Nixon is going to try to hustle through. Could it be 3 wide? Danny Nasseir is going to try to put it down the inside of Crawford. It could very well be 3 wide onto turn 1. And Nixon definitely looking like it, committing into turn 1. It's going to be very risky. Mark just turns right into Danny. Wow. Didn't see him there. Come on. Ignis gets a 10-second time penalty for cutting the circuit, but Crawford just straight up turned right into Danny Nasseir. That is close case right on him for that. That is just, come on. Didn't see him there or whatnot, but that is what the radar is for. That is an incident that's probably going to be a slam dunk penalty at the end of this one, but you can see these drivers, no love lost between them. They're hustling, they're pushing hard. And as we head back up, we see Daniel Santos continuing to dominate this Japanese GP. 2.5 seconds ahead as I think that's somebody. Are they coming out of pit road? Maybe that's Tiago. Yes. And oh, he's in the grass out of turn 1. And he gets back going. So all the gaps between the top 9 very much separated, but as we head into this battle for 9th, the P10 driver of Gabriel Costa is in the slipstream from the Ferrari, trying to get the move, and Massimo defends the inside. Gabriel's going to play the dummy. He'll send it down the inside himself. Maybe a little bit deep. Can the Ferrari just climb back? Door is shut. And nothing could be done there unless Massimo takes it down the inside of this left-hander. He is going to do so. It's a very risky move, but Massimo, unfortunately, just not able to get enough to put a move down there on the inside, and he's going to shuffle down to 10th. Battle here for P16 now, as the drivers really start to settle in to this race. You see on the minimap on the right-hand side of your screen, the top 8 separated very much as Rosa puts it down the inside for just a moment there. Just lost that battle for the moment. Got it back here, and I think we got it at the perfect time. Down the inside, a very deep dive that sends the Lexus off the circuit. Gets back on. Layla kind of having to get on the brakes early. Tiago gets the drive-through for spinning in the pits. Layla will take it down the inside, and oh, it's contact between the two. It's Farinello who gets the worst end of the stick. And I don't know what to say between that one, but Christian, bad luck there. I don't know if that's Layla who tapped into the rear of Christian. But as it stands, he's been sent backwards. And meanwhile, Danny is off. It was contact between himself and Oleg in the Porsche. That is not what you want, especially in the early stages here. By continuing out here, as we see Massimo carrying on, chasing down. He's 8 tenths behind Costa. It's your closest battle we have in the top 10. So very well a fight between these top drivers as Layla, trouble for her. Facing the wrong way out of turn 1. It may have been contact with Leonardo. Getting back on the loud pedal. And gets going now. Take it up to this battle here. Eamon Esbjerg and Kasper Tezayaki. And this is your battle for P7. Kasper in the Honda, Eamon in the BMW as they head through Castro Corner now. It's a crucial exit. Both of them need to get. Kasper running a little bit deep, not able to get the full width of the apex like Eamon has. He's cut down that gap to 3 tenths as they now race up the front straight, looking for a move. Eamon is pick your poison, outside or inside. As they head into turn 1, it's just a way better run. You can see a bad exit can cost you so much time down the straight. Eamon, he looked for the move down the inside. I'm surprised he didn't take it. He was very close that time by. And decides maybe next time Maybe taking a note from Massimo to the left-hander. He looked at it, but not enough. And Casper, struggling, gets a little bit of the bumps in. Come on, move it along. Eamon trying to go through as quick as he can, but just can't go anywhere. He'll have the inside line, though, for this section here. Can he get the switchback around the outside? He cannot, but he'll get it done around the outside. And Eamon, it's up to 7th. And the charging Italian continues his dominance here. P7, he still has to get up to his championship rival sitting in P1, but if he can get onto the podium, bare minimum, well, it'll be perfect for him as he heads up the hill into the double right-hander section this time by. And lots of action going down in the midfield here. Hayden off the circuit, holds on to the brakes right off the circuit. Layla's going to be catching up, seeing that Corvette off the road. And he's going to take it into the pits. Ignis's day, the Canadian, is going to retire it. Not his day today here at Fuji Speedway, and he's done. And we'll hopefully see him in the next one. Next week out, it's the penultimate race of the championship at Bathurst. It's going to be an exciting one, and it's one you cannot miss. It's back to the endurance schedule, 90 minutes of racing, class racing, split class qualifying. Here we see Porsche, Audi, BMWs. Rosa off the circuit, facing the wrong way. And Daniel, P18, chasing down Leonardo in the Audi. Porsche, what can he do here? Is it going to be a chance down the inside? To the right-hander, turn 1. He'll put his nose down. He'll send it all the way through. Contact between them. Leonardo didn't expect that one coming. Turned right into him. And that's a move done. P17 for him. And he can start to chase down. But Leonardo may have a word to say about it. He'll take it down the inside. Farinello's in the background. Porsche goes through. Lexus trying to catch up. On board with Christian. To the right-hander, and a slide there, nowhere to go! Farinello eats the rear end of the Audi! Whoa, no, more bad luck for the Marlboro driver. Once again, sent backwards. Another shame here. Meanwhile, we missed it. Regan Milana loses out to Eamon, but Regan may have a chance to get back up to P6. Here we go, down the inside as they head into turn 1. BMW against BMW. Eamon back onto the regular racing line. He'll just sweep right through. Regan does not decide to go for that one. And we're getting word in the paddock pen. Crawford retiring because Nixon was lagging. Now, of course, we didn't see what happened there, and I believe that was very early on into this race, but so far our retirements and the drivers we've lost: Martin Webster, Thiago Ravaz, Oleg Sensin, and Hayden Ignis. 4 cars down, 27 still on track. As a drive-through for speeding in the pits, Danel is going to take that one. And Gonzalez against Danny Nasseir. Nasseir is off the circuit. He just hits the grass. And he's going to drop down from that position, but Gonzalez is going to take that into the pits. 23 minutes left to go as Danny starts to chase down P21 of... actually, I think it's Gonzalez. Oh, no, he did not pit, so that is my mistake there. A lot of drivers splitting up now. 29, almost 30 concurrent viewers. Thank you so much for tuning in this week to Caribbean Motor Racing Sim Club. If you're loving the action, make sure to hit that subscribe button. We are on course for a whopping monumental 3,000 subscribers. It would mean the whole world if you could hit that subscribe button if you're enjoying the action. Like the stream if you are enjoying the racing so far. 2 rounds left to go in the GT World Challenge. As Daniel, 10-second time penalty for cutting the circuit in his debut. Next week, we head to Bathurst for the second round of the Endurance Championship. Chat saying, seemed like Eamon is on a charge. Considering that he did not have the best of starts and he was sent backwards outside the top 10, yeah, I will say he's pushing hard. He is tied in the championship lead with Daniel Santos, and the position he is in right now, it's the last spot he wants to be in. And the bad luck from Fuji, the last time out when he was back in Porsche Cup looking for his first championship, well, it's going to be a long way to go for him. But Eamon has obviously picked up a lot of skills since that day. And he's looking for the top 5. I think Lacey's going to probably move out the way and allow her teammate to go through. I wouldn't be surprised. Meanwhile, battle for third underway as Peter Sabo and Christian Ramau are close together. On to the front straight now. Peter Sabo is going to defend, or is he going to take it into the pits? They're both in the pit line. Are they going to send it in? I think Peter is gonna, yes he does, and they're gonna go out and Christian is gonna stay and go and stay and race on circuit as Peter Sabo comes in. So that's gonna be a very close fight to watch out for, as I did see a bit of contact from the rear end here as Nixon, and we also have the likes of Farinello chasing down for P15. It's P12. That's where you get the big points. As pit lane is busy, we also have Massimo coming in. And is Peter now coming out? Not yet. Is this Costa's debut race? No. Gabriel Costa debuted back with us a couple rounds ago back at Daytona. And ever since, he's actually been a pretty fun driver to watch. One of the newcomers here, sticking it in the top 10. So, amazing driver to look out for. A new prospect, the Brazilian here in CMRSC. Keep an eye out for him. Meanwhile, race is really separated. It's one of the first times as I think that's our race leader now coming into the pits. Yes, it is. Santos is in. It's been one of the first times in this championship, 6 rounds later, that positions have really been spread apart for the top 10. We haven't seen that in quite a while. But I think that's just the nature of this circuit. Ramau is going to come in as well. That's going to leave Fancher and Asbir to stay out. And we're mainly looking for Peter Sabo. There he is, fighting against Christian, and Christian decided to stay out, so he wants the overcut. And we're going to find out very soon as Peter now heads into the double left-handers and now into Castro corner into the right-hander as he gets right back up onto the front straight. And we'll see. Is it enough? Is Ramau moving? Doesn't seem like it. And now he is actually. So there goes Danny Nasseir, but we're waiting for an Audi to cross our screens coming up. There he is. Very close battle between them. And Peter Sabo is going to get it done. So even though Ramau attempted the overcut, it's not going to work. Sabo is going to hold on. And meanwhile, we also have our leaders back out on track. Daniel Santos. So a lot of drivers going to be mixing between each other throughout this pit cycle, as there's just under 9 minutes left to go. Ooh, is Henderson just running off the circuit momentarily? He gets back going, but your real fight here getting underway as Ramau, P9, trying to get up to P8 as it stands, but as pit stops start to go through, they're going to shuffle back up to the podium fight. Ahmed is going to head into the pits for his mandatory pit stop, as well as Fancher and Asbir. So Santos is going to be pushing hard now to make sure he can reclaim back his race lead. And where is Daniel? There he is, now heading onto the front straight. And he is going to be able Is he going to be able to hold on to this lead? He was 5 seconds ahead the last time we saw him. Ahmed is actually now exiting out on pit lane. But it's not going to be enough. So Santos, net P1 at the moment. But how close is it? Waiting for that delta to kind of settle down. About 5 seconds, actually. So, same place that Santos left it off. Maybe a couple tenths off there. 4.6. But game on here for the British driver to try to get his first official race win. He finished P1 back at Daytona, but a penalty sent him backwards over a very, very, very clumsy incident. Getting it wrong. So he's going to want to get this one back with all means necessary. And we'll see if he can do it. As it stands, though, it's Regan Milano who's trying to get some laps done in the lead. Having some fresh air, I say that. He's got a lot of lap traffic between him. And here's back to this fight here. Ramau, as he chases down for now, what is P5? Lapped car in the way. Actually, it's not a lapped car. I thought that was Danielle. That's actually Matos. So he hasn't made a pit stop yet. And they're actually fighting for position, but Matos still has to come in for a pit stop. This could work brilliantly for Ramau, as he's gonna, yep, that's exactly what I thought. Sabo gets slowed down from the old tires of the car ahead. Ramau's gonna take it around the outside and get it onto the front straight. Matos is gonna get right out the way. He'll take it to the pits, but it's gonna be a great run for Christian Ramau to put it down the inside. He'll get wide. And he's aiming for it, neck and neck, down the front straight. With 16 minutes left to go, Christian is looking for P4, which will be basically P3 on the podium, down the inside. Can Peter hold on? Little contact is made between them, it looked like. But Ramau is ahead, but Peter's gonna get right back on him down the inside. Is it enough? Can Peter put it down? Ramau goes deep off the circuit into the right-hander. Can he hold on? It looks like Peter just able to hold on to that one. And the Brazilian is gonna have to try this one once again, a different section of the circuit, because Peter is not budging whatsoever. What a fight between these two drivers as we slowly close off this Japanese GP. Still lots of time to go. But it's one of your closest battles we have on circuit now. And for the podium, it's going to be must-watch here. Regan still has to come into the pit, so that's why we call this one battle for the podium. Meanwhile, Ahmed losing time. 5.3 now, the difference between himself and Santos. And here we go. Ramau's going to have another opportunity here. Can he get another good exit? Oh, Peter's run deep. He ran right off the circuit. Tried to get a very wide exit here. You want to get a wide exit, but went way too deep, and he's off the track. He's lost out the podium. Ah, silly mistake there, Peter. Can he get back to Christian? He was able to defeat his chances of an overcut, so definitely I feel like there's a chance, but that is not the mistake you want to get, especially as we get later into this race, where gaps are going to start opening up and the tires are going to start limiting themselves to what you can actually do. We'll find out shortly. Here's a little BMW battle here, Nixon and Layla. Trinidad versus Italy, and Farinello back in this fight again. Come on, Christian, we're all willing for you as Layla loses the rear end. And Farinello's gonna take it down the inside. Christian has just been getting the worst of luck around here. He just wants to get one overtake where he's not running into somebody from their mistake. And just worst place, worst time. Layla just struggling on the corner exit there. First time she's in the BMW. And now nose to tail. On board to the inside. Regan's in the pit, so it's going to allow the leaders to get right back through. And Farinello down the inside. Is it enough? Can Layla fight back? She cannot. So Christian is going to get up to P18 unless Layla puts a cheeky dive down the inside. Would be pretty challenging, and she doesn't. And so stays down to P19. Meanwhile, as Milana still in the pits, Eamon is going to finally claim over P5. And now he's just going to work his way up to Peter Sabot for P4. However, it's 9.2 in about 12 minutes. That's going to be very tough to accomplish here. So, are we going to see Regan potentially fight maybe Massimo on pit exit? Actually, no, he's ahead of Casper. So, as they get going, oh no! Christian Farinello will get a 10-second time penalty for cutting the circuit, and he is going to rage quit out of this one. He's done. He's like, come on. That's just the final nail in the coffin. He's out. A race blundered there from just constant incidents, just running into everything. And that is a mighty unfortunate moment there from him. Hopefully he can spike back up in the future races. And we'll see if he can bounce back up. We haven't seen Tio for this race, but yeah, hopefully we'll see them very soon. Now, Eamon has a bit of hope in the light at the end of the tunnel, because there's this fight going on right here. Christian Ramau and Peter Sabot. Now, they have fought a lot in this one. If they continue going side by side for just a little while longer, we'll expect these two to be very close, as well as Eamon to enter back into the fray. It was last week at South Africa where you have to look back at Maximilian Fleer and Eamon Espier battling each other constantly. It allowed Peter to really gain up from a 5-second deficit to get right to the rear. He wasn't able to claim some positions, but the fact that he was able to catch up to the tail end just tells you, if you continue to slow each other down throughout those phases, well, you're going to have some more company. Here is Daniel Santos, your race leader at the moment. He's catching up to some lap traffic. As, oh, there was some sort of trouble. As, yes, there is! Christian Ramau is up to third. I don't know what went wrong there, but Peter Sabot possibly made a mistake. I did see yellow flags flash. I was wondering if it was lap traffic. Christian, P3 now. And Layla, 10-second time penalty for cutting the circuit. So an interesting race coming down here. Peter Sabot, Christian Ramau. Peter is looking like the quicker car around him. We're going to take a look at some of these lap times as they come across the line. And we're going to see what it's looking like pace-wise. Meanwhile, we also have this gap here. So last lap between each other there. As you look at it, and you can see that Ramau and Peter are just trading blows between each other. No love lost between them. Meanwhile, as we continue this one off here, Evan Steinberg looking for the top 10. Massimo ahead. Danielle right behind. Ferrari, Lexus, Audi battling up for position. We'll go on board with the Audi here, and actually looks like the Lexus having a way better toe. Heading into turn 1 and into the right-hander. Massimo, so far, this is a race that he has been needing for a very long time. And I really hope he can finish up in the points. He's not had the best of luck in previous rounds, so for him to get some points on the board, it will be a very, very good moment for him and the team. Teammates with Layla as Evans gonna go down the inside, but just not able to work out. Actually, it has, because Massimo's just ran off the circuit. Oh no! Down to P12, a mistake into the left-hander, costing him positions. He's at the bottom of the barrel in the point standings. He'll take it down the inside. Oh, no! Ran right into Evan Steinberg. Was that a commentator curse? I hope to God I did not just commentator curse the actual flip out of Massimo, but that is the worst possible outcome that could go down right there. Is he still in the points at least? Oh, he's not in the points. I was giving you your flowers, bro. And it just went wrong in the span of about 10 seconds. That is... Wow. Even Thiago saying it in the paddock pen. Couldn't have jinxed it more. I got to keep my mouth shut. Apparently, I'm just not allowed to compliment drivers of how hard they've had previous races and how they're doing a great job right now. I guess I cannot do that anymore. Regardless, though, I'll keep my mouth shut. Let's continue this race here, as this battle is going to be probably the battle that we're watching to the very end. And thank you so much in chat, loving the graphics. As we continue to watch this fight here, it's all or nothing. Peter Sabot wants to get back on the podium like he did at South Africa after the penalties were complete. He'll be doing everything in his power. And of course, he's looking for a hat trick of podiums. You look back at Daytona, that is when he got his first one. Once again, trying to scrub off those demons of past times here. As you have a battle here that's a lot more closer. Crawford and Layla, as Evan Steinberg, 10-second time penalty for cutting the circuit. Another driver who bites the track limits bug. Or should I say the other way around? So Layla chasing down a heap of cars ahead of her. P18 up the road. As we have 5 minutes, 26 seconds left to go. Folks, if you're enjoying the stream, make sure to hit that subscribe button. If you are a sim racer looking to upgrade your rig, use code CMRSC on all Thrustmaster official websites and save yourself a lovely discount. And all proceeds go right back to the league. As we follow back up with this fight here, Layla's getting very close here. Oh, is it down the inside? Crawford, P19, and he's going to get a 10-second time penalty as well, extending track limits. A lot of drivers. Track limits, penalties left, right, and center. Now Layla, a chance down the inside. And here we go between the two. It's going to have to be a lunge, an almighty lunge. Still, nothing can be done. As you see up the road, that's Ahmed just getting through some lap traffic. And still doing a great job, P2 at the moment. Meanwhile, though, Peter Sabot still continues to close off. They have Rosa up the road. It's lap traffic. Honda's coming together close. Oh, Rosa, that's going to be the apex there. You're blocking the apex there, Rosa. Luckily, Christian is not going to lose as much time. Now Peter Sabot next, and Rosa's going to get right off the throttle there. It's one of those corners there that you just have to let off the throttle way before you get to the apex. But it doesn't look like it's harmed the battle too much. It gaps have kind of stayed the same. As they head up into the double left-hander here, 3 minutes left to go, and we still have an extra lap to do it, so Peter still has a lot of opportunities to get back to the podium. as they get back onto the front straight now. More lap traffic is going to get in the way. As you see Nixon chasing down Layla's, looks like she's got the move done on both Mark and Nixon. And now the Battle of the Caribbean goes down here. Guyana versus Trinidad, a classic rivalry. As Nixon's gonna go down the inside, may accidentally put some pressure on Layla, and Crawford's gonna tap the rear. Luckily, letting through, and here comes their battle for the podium. It's gonna get very close between them. Crawford's the first victim here. That's just gonna have to get right out the way, and he does to the left-hander, and that is the more responsible move to take. Peter, this is probably your best opportunity to snipe some positions. He's gonna take the proper racing line here. He'll get a great exit, and you know what? This could be a very good opportunity, maybe the last chance to take P3 in this race. He'll take it to the outside. It'll be a long fight up the hill, but he's better on the brakes. He'll have the inside here as Peter Sabot tries to hold on, but the curbs are just not going to work out for him. Ramau will hold on to the podium. Nixon is just sliding the rear of his BMW. Apologies there. I don't know if that's lag or whatnot, but they are coming up to the front straight, and lap traffic will have to go through, but Nixon, he's got to get right out the way immediately. And now that they're on the straight here, Ramau is going to be chasing down. The gap is well under a second, so Nixon's going to have to get right out the way for this fight here. Lifts off. Ramau's going to try to snipe a bit of slipstream from there, but I got to wonder, Peter, I feel like the inside move was definitely a lot better from that part. Unfortunately, just having to fight for another time, but that's racing. I can say whatever I want in front of the booth here, but when you have to make split decisions, it's not that easy. Even when you think, come on, like that's just an easy thing to do there, it's just not. Chad's saying Daniel has a really good racecraft, along with Eamon as well. Speaking of Eamon, I'm actually surprised. I thought he would have been able to catch up, but I truly think this is just the tires just getting battered around here, that it's just not as easy to chase down. Not as easy at all, but 30 seconds left to go. Santos is looking for the hat trick here at the Japanese GP, and this could be one of the races we look back at as the race that may decide the championship, even with 2 rounds left to go. If both of these drivers stay consistent to the end, and Eamon with the finish of P5, well, that is going to be drama. Time's up! We have 1 lap to go here at Fuji Speedway. And Santos has to just survive 1 more lap. This is it. A white flag is out. And as for these two, it's also going to mean 1 chance left between the two. And actually, I think positions did swap. But yeah, I think they did. Peter Sabot has got the move done on Christian Ramau, and I don't know where that happened. So as those two continue to fight, they still have 1 more left to go. Matos gets a 10-second time penalty. Here comes a Nixon on Layla. Down the inside. On corner exit, nothing can be done. But yes, I didn't see it. Peter Sabot, he's on the podium. He's got the move done. And now it's up to Ramau if he can challenge back, but the gap is opened up to about 7/10. Meanwhile, let's look at Daniel Santos, who's got a bit of traffic left to go, but let's talk about him. The Portuguese driver of Daniel Santos may be looking at the standings right now, realizing that Eamon is going to finish P5, and Santos is looking at maximum points here today with the fastest lap, might I add. And Daniel, he's going to be looking back at this championship, and he's going to be saying, what was the one that did it? What was the one that gave us glory here? It may be this race weekend. Around the final corner, Daniel Santos in the black and white BMW will chase to the line, will chase the checkered flag. Daniel Santos is going to pull off an almighty hat trick, and Santos will take victory at Fuji Speedway. What a performance from him. Ahmed will finish P2. To the podium, though, Peter Simon will be able to get it done. He'll be able to finish a hat-trick of podiums in third. Rahul will finish P4. Eamon, well, he's going to be looking at this one as a tough race to climb back up. He'll finish P5. The rivalry between Eamon and Fuji, well, it's a story to continue for another day. As drivers now finish up and pull over to the side of the road. Looking for the rest of our competition here. Is there anybody left to go? I think that is it. And I can't wait to see all the messages go down in the paddock, realizing what went down here. But holy, what a race. What a race that was. Championship is going to be very, very interesting as we get down to it. But as it stands right now, there's your podium. Daniel Santos takes victory at Mount Fuji. Fuji Speedway goes to him. He's got 2 races left to go, but he's leading the championship. What a fight. What a podium. So that's going to do it there. Holy. What a race. That is honestly incredible. Let's turn on the tunes and let's celebrate it. There's going to be a lot of talking to go down at the end of this one. All right, after a hellacious Japanese Grand Prix, we come to the end of it. We're going to talk to our race winner right about now. And going for the hat trick here, it's 2 times now, finishing P1 on circuit, but getting it done and dusted here. What a performance.
Yep.
Daniel, race victory here at Fuji, and you are firmly leading this championship. That's got to feel good.
No, I'm extremely disappointed.
Well, what went down on your end? Why would you say that?
My main championship rival gets taken out again, so I have no competition. So what's the point?
So you're thinking that this is going to be a smooth sailing one to the end?
I didn't want it to be smooth. I wanted to have a fight, and I'm not having the fight because my rival keeps getting taken out.
Maybe robbed. Maybe robbed of a championship fight coming towards the very end, but let's put that aside. There is still 2 races left to go where a lot still can go down. But let's go through it here. Race start, that was an incredible one from you covering up Peter into turn 1. And from there, you were able to just hold this one down. Take us through it.
Yeah, I just covered the inside. I don't know what he wanted to do. He went a bit wide. And yeah, I took the opportunity to kind of try and create a gap. And it was just had to deal with Ahmed, but yeah, I had better race pace and ended up pulling away. Plus the undercut helped me a little bit, so yeah, I mean, just nothing happened on my end.
Well, nonetheless, though, you are race winner here today. I can understand the disappointment because even we wanted to have a nice championship fight to the end. But yeah, as we come down to it, there is still 2 races left to go, one of them being Bathurst. As we get into our next race of the Endurance Championship going into it, how are you feeling now? You are still leading the championship. Maybe you can afford a podium, losing a podium out here, but what's the mindset going into it?
I just same mindset. I gotta be fast and gotta hope that my rival doesn't get taken out for the 3rd time in a row, so he can actually have a proper championship.
Well, let's hope. But nonetheless, though, Daniel, congratulations. You're still P1, and you are now officially leading this championship.
No, thanks.
So there is your man who finishes P1. Let's talk to our drivers who finish in P number 2. Let's find him now. I just invited you up here. Ahmed, congratulations, P number 2. Hopefully you can give us a little more happiness here, finishing on the podium now, P2. Of course, we got to look back at former races that just could not get it done, but to finish up here, top spot, 2nd place, how does that feel for you?
I gotta say, that was probably one of the most boring races I've ever done. Just because nothing was happening. So, I mean, it felt good to be 2nd, but not by much. Yeah, it was just a race. I did some hot laps, and that just kind of happened.
Okay, and an uneventful one, that's for sure. But well, let's take us through the start of this race, because I know that was anything but a walk in the park. How was that one from your POV?
That felt like everything was coming left, right, and center just around me. I saw Peter just miss the brakes, it looked like. Just go straight on. There were cars behind me just flying back. I don't even know what happened. But then after everything cleared, I got some nice gaps and just started driving. And yeah, the start was chaotic, but only for turn 1, really.
Well, now to finish up in P2, I know it's probably a boring one, but 2 races left to go for you. I mean, I think at this point you're just gaining some proper experience out here and really trying to make your name around here. But coming up into our next 90-minute race, last time we were here at the Endurance Championship, you were the winner on track. Going into Bathurst, how are you feeling?
I always liked Bathurst. And I think with more races, I'm realizing the mistakes I'm making in the pits. Like this race, I actually overfueled by about 10 laps for some reason. I also set the tire pressures too low. So I mean, as we go along, I feel I'm getting more confident. You know, maybe Bathurst, I start to fix those mistakes, and maybe I can actually win on track and after the race. So we'll see. It's looking good.
Well, can't wait to see what you can do out there. Congratulations, though, to finish P2. And yeah, we hope you can have a more eventful race next time out.
Thanks.
That's your P2 there. But let's now talk about the battle for P3 that had us all at the edge of our seats. It was a very close fight between these 2 drivers. But at the end of the day, the driver who takes the final step on the podium, we invite you now here to talk with us. Peter Sabo. Holy, that was a fight and a half, wouldn't you say?
It was a lot of fun. This was a race I truly enjoyed.
Well, first of all, I am very glad we're able to have one interview here that's more smiles. Yeah, you had a great fight. We were watching it all throughout there, but just take us through it, man. Like, it was ever since, like, the pit stop phases, that's where it really went down. How was that race for you?
Yeah, so many things happened. I remember making a lot of mistakes in stint 1. I actually fell asleep on the light, and then he had a really good jump on me. Managed to block off my lane, so that left me wide open to be attacked, and I missed my braking points. Surprise there. Yeah, and then Christian and I were battling for most of the race, or at least we were really close. I know he made a mistake in the first stint. He disappeared for a while, but then I started making mistakes, and I saw him reappear in my rearview mirror. And yeah, I pit just as he was on my rear bumper. I went in. I didn't want to fight. I didn't want to lose time to the guys or let the guys behind us catch up, and I figured maybe I just had the jump on him, and actually worked out nice.
And worked out nice indeed. This is now a hat trick of podiums for you. Finally getting back in shape. This is the Peter we were missing for a while now, and finally, I think we can say those demons are almost gone. Wouldn't you say?
I think so. It's finding different people on track now, by the signs of it.
And I know we had a conversation a couple days ago. We're coming up into Bathurst. This is your debut race 1 year ago. This time last year, if you don't know, ladies and gentlemen, Peter Sabot joined us here for one of his first races, and he had a great performance out here. I believe we were seeing you on the podium. So is there another podium in sight for you at Mount Panorama?
I hope so. I'm looking forward to it. It's one of my favorite tracks.
Glad to hear the smiles. Congratulations, getting on the podium there. And yeah, hopefully we can repeat some history or make it even better as we head into the Australian Grand Prix, though. But congratulations, a great fight for the podium.
Thank you.
All right, and that's going to do it there. We're going to have our meeting now coming up for the lounge, and we'll discuss about that race. We'll see you next week out. It's going to be the Endurance Championships Round 2, so you know what that means. It's going to be split qualifying, the return of the class racing, and it's going to be the penultimate race of the championship. And, of course, it's going to be the Valentine's Day special, so make sure to get those liveries in. You can check the announcement channel for all the details of how the livery contest is going to work. But we hope to see you next week. Thank you for an amazing showcase here at Fuji, almost 30 drivers, and let's keep it up for the final 2 rounds of the championship. That's gonna do it here. We'll see you same time, same place for the penultimate round of the championship.